Jodi Kantor, good morning. Happy birthday!
Thank you. It is my birthday.
What's your real age?
What's your chronological?
Yes.
I am 51 years
Yay.
old, and that's part of why I want to help the next generation find their life's work. We're here at the beginning of graduation season. They are graduating into a job market unlike any we've seen. You guys have reported the bad economic news on the show. The New York Times has reported it. We don't need to get into it. The question is, what does a response to these circumstances look like for a young person who wants to fight for their dreams and ambitions, who wants to fight to have a meaningful work life? What kind of help can we give them? And so this is my letter to try to give them the best possible chance of having a happy, meaningful, and successful work life.
I think even more fundamental than that is the basic premise of this book, that despite the fact that the world right now may be telling them that they are not useful, that they are no longer needed, that a machine can do a better job than they can, you say that is not only derogatory, it's wrong. Can you explain why?
The lesson of all of this AI news, and listen, we don't know how AI is going to shake out in the workplace yet. It's too early. But young people, graduates, are being given a message saying, you are not needed. That's terrible. And it's false. Of course we need their talents. Of course we need their commitments. So the question is, how can they find a path? Right? How can we give them advice that is encouraging and galvanizing, but doesn't have false optimism, because that's going to ring false? And so what I would tell them is that they want to, more than finding a job, they want to find two things to make their life's work meaningful. They want to find a craft, a special skill or expertise that they know how to do that makes them valuable. The job market is cruel, but your craft cannot be taken away from you. Your craft means that you are not disposable or interchangeable.
And they want to find a need.
And you want to find a need that is going to give you propulsion. You want to get away from this conventional wisdom of you have to study computer science or you're a loser, or you have to study Mandarin or you're a loser. It doesn't pan out in the end, right? It's a little bit hollow. We want them to make an independent assessment of what society is going to need most from them during their working years.
You've talked to students, Jodi. This stuck out to me in the book where you said, a student said to you, I want to achieve a job not based on passion, but based on survival. That is not how you want kids to think. And you said, but you also want them to have a great struggle. What does that mean?
This is a time of struggle, right? Starting has always been hard. It was hard for us. I'm wearing a little sticker. I was fired from my college newspaper.
Yes.
Like, my career in journalism was...
Well, Pulitzer Prize.
Probably
yes.
the best thing that ever happened to you.
My career in journalism was over before it started. Right. It was very hard. It's harder now. This era is making it tougher. Young people are being interviewed by AI instead of by real people. This is like, a lot of them are experiencing it as very discouraging, very degrading. Okay, so it's a time of struggle, right? But what does it mean to have a great struggle, right? You can stay home, you can get depressed, you can give up, or you can struggle in a way that involves joy, involves daring, involves learning how to take on some risk, because everybody wants stability right now, but you don't really get anything in life without taking on a little bit of risk. And I think there is a way to struggle right now that will yield dividends now and for the rest of your life.
So in the book, you write, when we hone our craft, we build up protection against being regarded as disposable or interchangeable. And when you talk about craft, it can sound defensive to some people. It can sound as if you're saying, I want to protect myself against being replaced. But I read that line as having a deeper value. It's a person's identity. It's a person's purpose and their standards.
Exactly.
How do you then define your craft in a way that stops being about protection and more about the meaning in your life?
So that's really what the book's about. It's about the quest for a craft. Very few young people, even if you're graduating from college this season and you have great grades and you've done wonderful things, you probably don't have a craft yet, because craft is built up over time, right? Look at what all of you are able to do to make this TV show. Look at where you started in TV, right? And everything you've learned over the years that takes you to a higher level. I do really complicated newspaper investigations now. My partner and I broke the Harvey Weinstein story. We just did a big Supreme Court story this past weekend. That's a craft that took me years to accomplish. And I want other people to have their equivalent of that because, A, there is joy and confidence in the mastery, right? In being able to do those things.
True.
And also it means that you have a skill to offer the world, that you are needed. You have a contribution that hopefully will make you successful, but will also give something back to the collective.
Jodi Kantor, How to Start, thank you so much. This book is now on sale. You can scan the QR code on your screen to buy it now.